Hi everyone, and welcome to this guided meditation with me, Espen Haugen. So we're continuously moving forward in the newness and reading from the book The Law of Attraction, the basics of teaching of Abraham. We are now on page 101. So it will be fun to just moving forward and feel the energy of those words that's coming to us and through us, these non-physical words, these energized words, because it's when there is a feeling behind what you speak, it's the words gives it more energy to it, from the non-physical. When you're speaking from your own alignment, energy comes through for the person who's self in his or her own alignment. So we only can hear those words when we ourselves are in feeling our own alignments, because everything match up to the vibration of that that you feel from within. So then you can hear those words clearly, then you can understand it. And then also this is the same with everything you're passionate about, everything you love. When you do something you love, you can more follow through and learn it faster, those things, because you're eager to learn, you're passionate about it, you have no resistance to it, you're loving it, and therefore it's easier to just learn it and just continuously moving forward. And it's the same with all energy from alignment. When there is a desire and there is no resistance to the desire, and when there is something that you want and you have no resistance to it, but you're eager for it, you're satisfying about it, and you're imagining it in the most beautiful way, and you feel so good when you imagine it, and then the energy can come through, and then more you match up that vibration, now you can experience it, because everything comes from our own alignment. When we are matching up with that desire and have a clarification around it and an idea, and we then take action, it will follow through for experience more and more and more. So that's with everything. So that's the thing with follow your bliss. It's such a wonderful statement from Joseph Campbell. He talk about follow your bliss. It's one of the most beautiful statements we've ever said. And follow your bliss is really to just follow your own guidance, follow your own alignment, follow what feels best to you. And when you do that, you will get more experience of it. So good. So hi Shanetta, hi everyone, hi Jen, and hi Mary Shin, Mother Mary Sunshine. And we have Shanetta, we call her Jenny, and Jen, Super Jen, and Super, I call it Super Jen today, Super Jen. So always so good to have her back office, always so supporting, uplifting to all of us in Best Life, and to each and every human being. She's such an amazing person, and all of you are. So thank you for being here. So let's move on and continuously reading from the book, The Law of Attraction, the basics of teaching of Abraham. So just sit back and relax and enjoy, and yeah. So then we move on. It's good. Is being patient not a positive virtue? Jerry, Abraham, how do you feel about telling someone, just be patient? Abraham, when you understand the law of attraction and when you begin to deliberately direct your own thoughts, that things you desire will flow quickly and steadily into your experience, and patience will not be necessary. We are not excited about anyone learning patience, for it implies that things naturally take a long time, and that is not true. They only take a long time in coming when your thoughts are contradicted. They only take a long time in coming when your thoughts are contradicted. If you move forward, then backward, then forward, then backward, you could potentially never get to where you want to go. But when you stop moving backward and only move forward, you will get there quickly. And that does not require patience. Such a new beautiful clarification around that. So it's to letting it happen, not try to make it happen, not resist to make it happen, but letting it happen. It's letting yourself to feel your own alignment, letting the energy comes to you and through you, feeling your own alignment, feeling good, breathing, allowing, and then off you go. Then it's easy to just take those steps. You're feeling alignment, you get your guidance, you get the IDs, you get all of those things coming your way for the next step and the next step. And what's next is much more fun, because now it's not about a destination. It's like, this is fun. I love being in this newness of this now and moving forward in the new, and more to come. So good. So let's move on. This is good. So hi Chelsea. Good morning to you also. So I want to take a quantum leap. I want to take a quantum leap. Jerry, well, it's easy to take a small step beyond where we are and just do a little more than what we've been doing. Be a little more of what we are and have slightly more than what we know have. But how about that we call a quantum leap? In other words, achieving something almost beyond anything that we ever seen before. How would one go about creating something like that? Abraham. Good. Now you have it up on the key. The reasons it is easier for you to take those small steps forward is because it is easy for you to acknowledge the beliefs that you now hold, and stretch those beliefs just a little bit. You are not completely changing your beliefs. You are just expanding them a little bit. Quantum leap often means you must release your current belief and adopt a new one. Quantum leaps are not achieved by enhancing the belief part of the allowing part of the equation. Quantum leaps are achieved by enhancing the wanting part. Hmm, it's interesting. Would you not agree that the mother who, in the story we offer, lifted the automobile from her child experience a quantum leap? If she had been in a gym, it would have taken a very long time, little by little, to convince herself she could pick up something that heavy. But her powerful desire caused the quantum leap in the moment. We are proponents of quantum leaps because they require exaggerated contrast, which causes a dramatic population of your desire and can produce a startling result. But that result is almost always temporary, for that balance of your beliefs will eventually bring you back to where you were before. A gradual bridging of beliefs in the creation of your desires is a much more satisfying way to create. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. So, who's else here? Hi, Wiki. Good morning to you. And Becky, we are for the tea. Becky, Wiki. This is good. So, let's move on. Jerry. Jerry, and tell me one more time, how can how can we fan our desire? How can we make ourselves want more? Abraham. Put your thoughts upon what you believe you want, and the law of attraction will draw more information, more data, and more circumstances to your creation. You see, it is a natural process that when you look at what you want, you will feel powerful, positive emotion. So it is a matter of holding your thoughts upon what you want. If possible, go to the places where the things that you want are so that you deliberately put yourself in that position of feeling wonderful. And as you are feeling good, all things that by your estimation are good will begin coming into your experience. When you focus upon something, the law of attraction will do the fanning. So if it seems that it's requiring a great deal of work for your desires to increase and the positive emotion to be more, it is because you are thinking about what you want and then about its opposite. So you are not allowing steady forward motion. Aren't the grander things harder to manifest? Jerry, then what would you say is the reason why almost everyone feels that they can create or manifest little things, but they feel like they can't create the larger things? Abraham, it is because they are not understanding the law, and they are hinging what can be upon what has been. When you understand the laws, then you understand that it's not more difficult to create a castle than it is a button. They are equal. It is not more difficult to create 10 million than 100,000. It is the same application of the same law to two different intentions. Can I prove these principles to others? Jerry. When a person wants to test these laws or principles in order to try to prove their validity to someone else and they're saying, let me show you what I can do with these. Does that have any bearing on the effectiveness of the law of attraction? Abraham. The problem with trying to prove something is that it often causes you to push against something that you do not want. And as you do that, you activate that very thing in your vibration, which makes it more difficult to accomplish what you do want. It also can be discouraging, for if they have strong doubt, they may influence you to have some doubt. There is not a need to prove anything to anyone with your words. Let that which you are, that which you are living, be your clear example to uplift others. Why is there a need to justify one's worthiness? Jerry. Abraham. Why do you feel that so many of us, in physical form, seem to have a need to justify the good that comes to us? Abraham. Part of the reason is that humans incorrectly believe in the limitation of resources, so they feel they must explain to others why they should receive it instead of them. Belief in unworthiness is another factor. There is a very powerful thought here in your physical dimension that says, you are not worthy, so you are here to prove yourselves as worthy. You are not here to prove your worthiness. You are worthy. You are here for the experience of joyful expansion. It was by the power of your desire and by the power of your allowing, indeed, by your application of the very laws that we are discussing here, that you have emerged into this time-space reality. And so, your physical existence here is a proof of your worthiness or deservedness to be, do, or have whatever you desire, you see. If you could realize that the reason your thought about your unworthiness feels so bad is because that thought is in utter disagreement with the way your inner being feels, you might then seek to improve the direction of your thought. But if you do not understand that, then often you flounder around, trying to please others. But because there is no consistency in what they ask of you, eventually you lose your way. When you are in the mode of justifying, you are in a negative mode, for you are not focused upon what you want. Instead, you are trying to convince others that it's all right for you to desire, and you need to do this. It is all right. How does action or work fit into Abraham's recipe? Jerry. So many of those I had seen who had tremendous results in their life, people to whom joyous things happen materially, with relationships and health-wise, don't seem to put out very much physical energy to receive these things. They seem to work a lot less than a lot of the others folks who seem to work much harder, but who then receive so much less. So where does the physical work or action part fit into your recipe for creating what we want? Abraham, you did not come into this environment to create through action. Instead, your action is meant to be a way in which you enjoy what you have created through thought. When you take the time to deliberately offer your thought, discovering the power of aligning the thoughts of your desires with matching beliefs and expectations, the law of attraction will yield to you the results you are seeking. However, if you do not take the time to line up your thoughts, there is not there is not enough action in the world to compensate for that misalignment. Action that is inspired from aligned thought is joyful action. Action that is offered from a place of contradicted thought is hard work that is not satisfying and does not yield good results. When you really feel like jumping into action, that is a clear sign that your vibration is pure and you are not offering contradictory thoughts to your own desire. When you are having a hard time making yourself do something, or when the action you offer does not produce the results you are seeking, it is always because you are offering thoughts in opposition to your desire. You are mostly physical action beings at this time because you do not yet understand the power of your thought. When you're better at applying your deliberate thought, there will not be so much action for you to tend to. I am preparing my future circumstances. Often people will say to us, well, Abraham, I have to offer action. I can't just sit around and think today. And we agree that your lives are underway and that they do not require and that they do require action. But if we are standing in your physical shoes, we will today begin offer as much deliberate thought about the things that are important to us as we could. And when we found ourselves thinking about things we do not want, thoughts that are always accompanied by negative emotion, we would stop and make an effort to find a better feeling way of thinking about that. And in time, things would begin to improve on all subjects. Let us say that you are walking down a street and you find a big bully, by your estimation, beating up a smaller person. Some sort of action is required right now. Your options at this stage of this manifestation are either to walk away and let the smaller person be hurt, or to get involved and perhaps risk getting hurt yourself. Neither option is satisfying. So, take whichever action you choose, but do not leave your thought where it is right now. Gather positive images from life experience of people living more harmoniously, and take them to your workshop, and make those kinds of thoughts the most active vibration within you. And in time, the law of attraction will not bring you into a situation where there seem to be no positive choices. One who sees himself as a savior, saving little ones from the big ones, will find himself often coming across people who need to be saved. And if it is your desire to have these kinds of experiences, then continue the thought of those kinds of experiences, and the law of attraction will continue to bring them to you. But if you are prefer something different, think about that, and the law of attraction will bring that to you. The subjects of your thoughts are preparing your future experiences. Yeah, this is so good. Good tea also. How the universe fulfills our diverse desires. Jerry, I used to tell people that my observation had been that those who worked the hardest through life had the least, and those who worked the least had the most. And yet, somebody had to dig that potatoes, milk the cows, drill the holes for the oil, and do that we call the hard work. So explain me, Abraham, how can it all work out so that each of us can still have, do, and be what we want, no matter what kind of work needs to be done? Abraham, you are living in what we see as a perfectly balanced universe. You are like chefs in a well-stocked kitchen, and all of the ingredients that have ever been imagined are here in abundant proportion to allow you to create whatever sort of recipe you want. When you really do not want to do a thing, it is hard for you to imagine that there are others who may want to do it, or who do not mind doing it. It is our absolute knowing that if your society decides that they did not want to do a certain task, by the power of your wanting, you will come forward with another way of doing it, or of doing without it. It is a common thing for society to reach the point where there is no longer a desire for a thing, and so it ceases to be, while it is replaced with a new and improved intention. How does physical life differ from the non-physical? Jerry, what are the chief difference in our life here in our physical experience and your life in your non-physical dimension? What do we have here on earth that you don't have? What do you have here on earth that you don't have? Abraham, since you are a physical extension of that which we are, much of what you experience we do as well. We do not allow ourselves, however, to focus upon the things that bring you discomfort. We are mostly keenly focused upon what is wanted, and therefore we do not experience the negative emotion that you experience. You have the ability to feel as we feel, and in fact, when you are in the mode of appreciation, for example, or love, the very emotion that you feel is your indication that you are looking at your current situation in the same way that we see it. There is no separation between what you know as the physical world and what you see as your non-physical world. However, in the non-physical world, our thoughts are purer. We do not push against what is not wanted. We do not think about the lack of what is wanted. We give our undivided attention to continually evolving desires. Your physical world, Earth, is a nice environment for fine tuning your knowledge. For here, your thoughts do not translate it into an instant equaling. You have a buffer of time. As you set forth your thoughts of what you want, you must become very clear. Clear thought, clear enough that emotion comes forth before you begin the attraction process. And even then, you must allow it and expect it into your experience before it manifests. That buffer of time provides you with much more opportunity to be very clear about how desirable the thought feels to you. If you were in a dimension where you were instantly manifesting, you would be spending more of your time trying to get rid of your mistakes, as many of you are now doing anyway, than you would in creating the things you want. What prevents every unwanted thought from manifesting? Jerry. What is it in that buffer of time zone that culls out the unwanted from our thoughts before they physically manifest? Abraham. In most cases, it is not culled out. Most people have a little bit of the things they like and a little bit of the things they don't like. Most are creating almost everything in their lives by default because they do not understand the rules of the game. They do not yet understand the laws. But there are those who are coming to understand these eternal universal laws, and by that we mean that they exist even in your ignorance of them, and they exist in all dimensions. For those people, then, their awareness of the way they are feeling is what makes the difference as to which of their thoughts manifests. Shouldn't I visualize the means of manifestation? Shouldn't I visualize the means of manifestations? Jeremy. Abraham, when we visualizing or thinking about something that we want, should we be looking at the means or the how of obtaining it as well as whatever we want to obtain? Or would it be smarter to just visualize the final results only and let the how, more or less, take care of itself? Abraham. If you have already identified that you want to participate in the specific means, then it is all right to give your attention to that. The simple key to knowing whether you are not specific enough or too specific is by the way you feel. In other words, as you are in your workshop, the specifics of your thought will bring forth the enthusiasm or the positive emotion. But if you become too specific before you collected enough data, then you will feel doubtful or worried. And so, recognizing the balance of your intention is a matter of paying attention to the way you feel. Be specific enough that you feel positive emotion, but not so specific that you begin feeling negative emotion. When you speak of what you want and why you want it, you usually feel better. However, when you speak of what you want and how it will come to you, if you do not right now see a way that it will unfold, then that specific thought will feel worse. If you speak of who will help it to come, when it will come, or where it will come from, and you don't have any of those answers, then those specifics are hindering more than they are helping. It really is a matter of being as specific as you can be while still continuing to feel good. This is good. Good information, beautiful. Clarification, information about our own creation. And it's so beautiful to know that everything is for us. Nothing is against us since the beginning. We have our non-physical energy. It's the most true of who we really are in this physical body. We have the blood and all of these things, but that's physical. But we are more than physical. We are the non-physical in the physical. And to deliberate being segment intending and being aware of being specific enough, like the last word saying, that you're always feeling good when you're being specific about it. But when you're feeling, that's the calibration, when you're feeling this discomfort, the discord of it, and start feeling a little bit worse, then you just calibrate it into not being so specific and more being more general, and then you move up into that feel good now space, because it's we can feel when we speak feel good emotion. We can feel that for ourselves when we speak something that feels good to us, and we can feel when we speak something that doesn't feel good to us, and then to be more deliberate, creating our own creation in a way of feeling better and better and better. That will be more experience, and also the specificness will be coming into that vibration as the beliefs moving up and the energy and all of those things. The more you believe and more you desire, and you feel good through what you believe in and you desire, and you take the action and you're having the experience of it, and you feel more improvements in it, and you feel more clarified, and you feel more the ideas coming to your way, circumstances, people, situations change. You know that it's all about feeling good. Now when you're feeling good, and then things outside starting to come into your experience, for you feeling so good, you deliberate, you're telling your new story in the way with the creative workshop. Go back to yesterday listening to that. I was reading the part of that in the end of it. It's really, really powerful. Starting to telling your new story in a way that feels generally good to you, and you telling it your new story in a new way every day, and you feel it more and more, then you will shifting and you will look at things differently. Now the things you are looking outside of yourself looks different. Your vibration from within feels better, and things you're looking outside looks different. So everything is from our own alignment always. When we are shifting the vibration from within and feeling good from within, everything outside looks different. Isn't that so nice to know? Just like how beautiful it is. It is so nice to know. I like that when I feel good, everything feels so good. What I see, hear, feel, taste, smell, generally everything feels so smoothly and so good. And I'm just receive the most beautiful ideas, and they just come my way, and I'm just like generally feeling good. That's all. And it's so nice to know. I feel so appreciated. I know the difference, and that I'm more aware of the positive aspects in everything in my life, and then I know that I don't have to think about those things that doesn't feel good to me. I can more deliberately choose to focus on those things that feels good to me, and more I deliberately choose to be in those things that feels good to me. More experience, and I know that, I feel that, I experience it, I have evidence of it for myself, and it's so nice to know. I can see it every day now, more and more and more. Things are working out. My career is of seek of joy. I'm feeling joy in this moment. I love my life. I love how everything works out from inside. The intelligence from inside works itself. I don't have to think about it. It's so nice to know. And as I'm feeling good and better, the cells and all of those things improves those things from the intelligence from in. Because it is the non-physical and the physical that is the fun part, for the co-creating to come together as one, and then expand in all those things that I wanted and desire for. And that life is good, and it's meant to feel good, and that it's been that since the beginning, and that I know I come forth for desiring to be, do, and have whatever what I want to be, do, and have, and enjoying all of it and calibrating into its vibration. And I know there is contrast in my life, but really, it's not about the contrast. It's knowing, calibrating more to those things that I wanted. It's when there's something happening right in the moment. It's like, oh, there it is, and oh, there it goes, and just moving on to the new one. I know more clearly when there's a conscious what I do want from that experience, and I don't, and it feels so good to know that I don't have to hold any attention to unwanted things. I can just breathing it through, allowing it through, and moving on to what's next in the field, what feels a little bit better to me, and better, and then I'll move on, and then it's just keep expanding and becomes more. I know this deliberate creating. I know this how all this working out. I know the energy comes through easily when I focus on those things that feels good to me. I know that the breathing and allowing, it's easy to do it more. I do it every day, just 50 minutes every day, meditating in the morning, segment intending for the day, writing positive aspect, looking at everything for what I appreciate. Just like just look and just say, I appreciate that, appreciate that, appreciate the sounds of that, appreciate the feeling of that, appreciate, and no reasons for it, but just moving in the feeling of how good it feels to appreciate that, and then just move on to the next what I appreciate. And then it's just like, oh, I see so much I appreciate. And then everything in my life when I wake up in the morning is so appreciated. And it's easy to feel it, it's easy to see it, it's easy to hear it, it's easy to sense it, it's easy to observe it, and there is always more to come. Good enough? Good. So, love you guys so much, and thanks for being here, co-creating with yourself and with each other, because that's what we do, becoming as energized well-being here in this Facebook Live, and explain, we say, but feeling our own alignment as we hear those words coming through, and then moving on to next. So it's fun, it's joyful. So love you guys so much, and see you tomorrow. Namaste.